Overall to the Chicago Bears in his latest mock via a mock trade. Harrison led the Buckeyes in receiving in each of those past 2 seasons and won the Blitnikoff Award this season as the nation's top wide receiver. Speaking of Ryan Wilson, he is joining us here on CBS Sports HQ to talk about this big news. Marvin Harrison Jr. on to the NFL draft. Ryan, maybe not the most shocking news. We all saw the writing on the wall, especially when he opted out of Ohio State's bowl game. But what was your initial reaction when you heard this?
It was the same one that you had, Jacqueline. Okay, we can continue to move forward with the understanding that Marvin Harrison Jr., and you sort of touched on it, he might end up being the best player in this draft class. It's always about the quarterbacks when we begin the discussion about the draft, because if you don't have a quarterback, it's hard to win football games consistently. But if you have a quarterback and you pair them with someone like Marvin Harrison Jr., that's a game changer, and that's part of the reason that I love the idea of Chicago sticking with Justin Fields and finding a way to get Marvin Harrison Jr. on that roster, because what did Stephon Diggs do for Josh Allen? What did A.J. Brown do for Jalen Hurts? What did Jamar Chase do? This graphic here perfectly encapsulates it for Joe Burrow. And there you can see the leaps that those quarterbacks made, those young quarterbacks made from the year before to the year of with those big play wide receivers. And there's a chance, Jacqueline, and it sounds crazy to say out loud, that Marvin Harrison Jr. ends up being better than all 3 of these wide receivers. I won't go so far as to say, as what my buddy Rick Spielman, on the co-host of the With the First Pick podcast, has said, that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a Hall of Famer. That feels a little rich for me, just given that he's just 20 years old. But I think he has a chance to be truly special. And like I said, he's probably the best player in this draft class. And I would find it hard to believe that he gets past pick 3 or 4 in the NFL draft. But that's only because those quarterbacks will probably go ahead of him.
Ryan, you said it, arguably the best player in this draft class. That's a really, really high praise there, saying he could be better than Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase. And of course, with Washington in the CFP, there was a lot of buzz around Rome Odunze. There was that whole conversation about maybe Rome Odunze as wide receiver 1 over Marvin Harrison Jr. But in your opinion, what makes Marvin Harrison Jr. just a cut above the rest and in that upper echelon of wide receivers?
Hey, Jacqueline, don't stop there. Let's name names. Our guy from the Cover 3 podcast, Tom Fornelli, was pushing the narrative